Namaskar, friends. You are watching the Public Global, and you are requested to please watch the program carefully, like it, and share it to your friends, so that a better discussion and the fruitful discussion can be generated from here. We can have a little bit a better opinion towards the world view, what is happening, and at the same time, our domestic politics should be realized and understood in a better manner. The government is very much busy. All the ruling forces, the government is very much busy with Samvidhan Hatya Divas. They are organizing, and I don't know what they are doing. They are celebrating or what they are creating, or what kind of thing. I am not aware of that, but it is fact they are engaged with the Samvidhan Hatya Divas, the murder of Constitution. With reference to the internal emergency imposed upon the country on 25th June of 1975 by Srimati, the then Prime Minister, Srimati Indira Gandhi. But does this government has any authority and the moral authority to engage and to discuss on those situations when emergency was imposed on this country? We don't think like that. This ruling segment doesn't have any moral authority to talk about the emergency imposed by Srimati Indira Gandhi in 1975. Just see the landscape of the politics at that time. Indira Gandhi came to the power in 1966, and she tried to dislodge the liability of Privy First, the Raj Bhatta, and it has a constitutional provision to give the erstwhile empire, the erstwhile Raja Maharaja, the kingships, the certain amount, and that was very much burden to the Indian nation, the newly freed Indian nation. The country was totally in a different condition, in the torn position after the Indo-Pak war in 1965 under the leadership of the then Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, the great legend personality. But India was facing a very much trouble at the front of financial, or it may be the otherwise. India was in trouble, and suddenly demise of our beloved Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri also created a different kind of problem in our country, in our domestic politics. So in short, Indira Gandhi was elected or selected or nominated, whatever it may be, you may call it, the Prime Minister of the India. And somebody was asking him treating her as a Gungi Gudiya, and they were in their opinion that she can be used in their as of their wishes. They can control her. But it was not like that. Indira Gandhi was very powerful leader, and she showed it. She proved it, and everybody was calling her Iron Lady. But what the political situation under which the emergency was imposed in our country, that must be analyzed at the same time, and that is comparable to the emergency announced by Indira Gandhi and unannounced emergency imposed by the ruling party nowadays in the power. Will the government allow it? Will the government look introspect all these matters? And when Indira Gandhi came from 1966, and from 1967 itself, she was trying to dislodge the Privy Purse. But the political equations and the political compositions were not in favorable situation. So she didn't it. But in 1971, she succeeded to dislodge it, that is Privy Purse, the Raj Bhatta, as promised by the Constitution. The constitutional amendment was required there, and that has been done by ordinance and by other means. All the constitutional means were utilized for that. But the question is like that: when this has been done, Raja Maharaja, the kingships, are they supposed to keep mum or keep silent without any activities, political activities? Actually, they were the deterrents of the democracy in our country. And Indira Gandhi was trying to establish the democracy in a real sense. Not only that, the bank nationalization in 1967. Who was then Prime Minister? The Indira anti-leader, Mr. Morarji Desai. Mr. Morarji Desai was the finance minister at that time. And on 16th June 1969, 16 June 1969, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi removed or sacked or whatever it may be. The charge was taken from Morarji Desai, a finance minister then. And 19th July, just after 3 days, 19th July, the bank nationalization was announced and effective. That was Indira Gandhi. All the financial personalities and the giants of the country are in the corporate world. They did not accept it in a good taste, and they also started to initiate their political whims against Indira Gandhi. And other forces were there. After that, one case was imposed in the relation with the Raebareli election, which Indira Gandhi won from in the 1971 election. And the Narayan, the great socialist leader, has imposed lost the case against Indira Gandhi of using the government machinery for their own benefit to ensure ensure her win. So that's why it was, but the court was proved that yes, she misused the government machinery on the two occasions, as referred by the Jagmohan Lal Sinha, the then judge of the High Court. One was the case of Mr. Ispal Kapoor, who has been serving as a IAS officer, as a government official, though he has resigned from his office, but it was not considered by the court. Court considered it as when he served Indira Gandhi in the political affair. On that date, he was in the service of the government of India. And the second charge was proved as a charge given the service taken by the service availed from the electrical department of the Uttar Pradesh. And the veteran journalist Mr. Kuldeep Nayyar written in his book The Emergency Inside Story. Yes, this is Mr. Kuldeep Nayyar was also one of the sufferer journalists of the emergency, but he written that these two incident was not enough to impose such kind of, to declare the election of Indira Gandhi null and void. But it has been done. They were just referring that this was the case, like a prime minister is being dislodged, being invalidated on the pretext of violation of traffic rules. Anyway, so that was the environment. The total environment was not in favor of the Indian people. And then 1974, 18 May 1974, Indira Gandhi acquired a weapon, that is a nuclear weapon, and the Pokhran was done there, the smiling Buddha. The whole country was in a situation, and the political situation was not in favor of Indira Gandhi. There was in fighting between the Congress, and the Congress was internally divided into two parts, and the one part of pro-Indira and other parties anti-Indira. But what was the root cause of those internal struggle of the Congress? So Indira Gandhi was trying to do it. She was trying to do it in favor of public, but the others were not in that state. The only the then Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who became Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister of our country later on, he spoken in the Parliament. He referred Indira Gandhi. This was the apman, the disrespect to the Constitution by ordinance, as it has been done. We are talking about the privy purse. And those were the days. That's why people supported Indira Gandhi like anything. And after the election was held in 1977, during emergency was continued. It is not like that the emergency had been withdrawn and then after the election was announced. Yes, election happened with continuance of the emergency provisions at that time. But all the leaders were released in the election there, and Indira Gandhi lost his election very badly. But what happened after that? After that, Indira became to the power again after collapse of the Janta government and the Janta experiment at that time. So there were many things in emergency which can be criticized like anything. It cannot be appreciated, emergency cannot be appreciated in any manner by any right person. But it is true. The situation for emergency was created by their political opponents when Indira Gandhi was moving towards the betterment of the country and in favor of the democracy. But it was not tolerated by the leaders of that time. But what is happening today? The people are suffering from anything. There is no legal right. There is no right. So everybody can be put under the law of sedition. Anybody can be charged. The institutional institutions, the constitutional institutions are even compromised, and the power of the institutions are being used against the person. Those who are not supporting the present government and the present segment, they are not ready to dance on their tune. The institutions are being used, and now election commission institution, the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi is asking for some electoral data, but the election commission is asking only to come to and discuss on the matter. But on what basis discussion will be on? If there will be no data, if there will be no required documentary support, on what discussion will be continued? So he asked for the documents, the readable document, machine readable document. And now the election commission, he has also written. Just trying to put examples before you to have a discuss. So what kind of what we do mean by the sense of emergency? Is it not emergency? What about electoral bond? The unconstitutional provisions have been made by the constitutional authorities, and there is no excuse for this. There is no shame on anybody. So, like this, the situation, the emergency was, yes, that kind of emergency, according to the constitutional provisions announced by the then government, it also not, that is not appreciated, that is not accepted in the good taste. But what is happening today? So that's why we are talking about this government has not any right, any moral right, and moral authority to remind the people of India the day of the murder of Constitution. Yes, we must be ensured that Constitution of country cannot be withheld, cannot be withdrawn, cannot be destroyed by anybody. It was not, Indira Gandhi was not doing that and not succeeded. And this present situation is also will not be. The present government and their counterparts and the ideological supporters were not in favor of this constitution. Once upon a time, they have published articles are there referring that this constitution is having nothing Indian. But now they are celebrating. They are treating like that. They are the guardians, they are the custodians of the constitution. And even then, they are not final in their mood. Whoever is the powerful, due process of law. They are not accepting due process of law provisions made by the Constitution according to the constitutional sentiment and the constitutional provisions. The judicial scrutiny they are not accepting by their mind. Whatever the constitutional, the parliament made, that should be final, and the court doesn't have any right to re-examine it, scrutinize it. And that has been referred by time and again by the different authority, those who are supporting the present government. So now what we are saying, just the only thing, yes, that announced emergency under provision of the constitutions was not acceptable to the India, because India always wants the democracy, whatever the shape may be. But the democracy is important for India. It may be announced, it may remain unannounced. So we must have a point how after 50 years, how we are in a position to analyze it. There are the generations who are alive today who have seen the scenario of emergency, how the situation, how the whole environment was corruption free, and the people, yes, there were some atrocities and some problems were there, but there were some positive symptoms also in the system. Anyway, so we must compare it and think it. We must have a point, some points, not only one point, some points to receive the message being given by this Constitutional Murder Day or Samvidhan Hatya Divas. So friends, so today is enough. So you are only requested to make your points to understand the provisions of emergency and the situations of emergency. Who created this situation where emergency was imposed on this country, and what is happening today? Certainly you will get some points in favor of people of India. Once you are requested to please put your comment in the right manner so that we can be able to understand the matters from your eye, from your view. Please comment, share it, and like the channel. Channel needed your support. We need your support. Your support is always needed. And this is the only way to have some better news, because the main media, what they are doing, we all know better, not to discuss more. Thank you very much. Please subscribe.